Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Tametsi. Where was I? I thought for a second I could reverse engineer something here. So this 2 means that there's one total here, so there's one here. But they all overlap in a kind of messy way. Where do I go from here? Alright, let's go in order to the next missed puzzle. A rectangle. I think I see what I must do here. This 2 brings this down to 1, so there has to be 1 in one of those. And 1 in one of those. To finish up the 2, so this space should be safe. Because that 1 gets satiated there. What else? Well, there can only be 1 more from the 2, so both of those must be mines. Now that 2 has to be completed. And right, I know this ends. I need to get that out. Oh, and the 2 finishes all that. So this isn't the worst start. 1, 2, 3 means one of these is true. Tametsi is Pog. Thank you for noticing. Now I'm gonna guess this comes into play, knowing that there are 2 things here. 2 out of 3 of those are done. Oh, and this 5 is much more useful. It means that there can only be 1 of these as mines. So only 1 of those can be mines. 2 of those are mines. I do be having the hiccups though. This 5 feels like something, but I don't think it is. Oh, actually this 3 is colliding with this other 3. So for this 3 to finish, there can only be 1 there, and that must be a mine. Which makes both of those free. And 1 of those is true. It's hard to know which. Now we got this 5. Not super done. Okay, so we know that there's one here and two here. So how are they placed then? Are they forced in any specific order? Well, we know from this 2, that's the wrong button, from this 2 that one of those is true, for sure. And then there must be 2 here. So what happens if the right one is the truth? If this is the mine, then those are both safe. So both of these have to be true. And then this 3 wouldn't finish? Right? So this must be safe then. Okay. That did feel a little bit trial and error-y to me, but there might be some logical way of finding that. This 3 finishes the 2. That 2 is finished by normal means. This 3 is finished. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes sense. And this 4... this 4, in combination with the 2 clue, means that there must be at least one here, even if this ends up being a mine, which it turns out it must be. So this is done. This 2 is finished. The 3 is finished. This 2 is finished. This 3 is on a wall, which is nice. This 3 has to be finished like that. This 3 is finished. This 3 is finished as well. So now this 2 has to finish like so. This 3 has to finish like so. The 4 is done now. 3 is done. Now the show is done. Do 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 do. I hope that you had a gut trembling or something resembling fun if you watched this thing alone. Maybe you didn't laugh, but probably a few times you exhaled out of your nose. If you hated it, that's fair. But either way. So we got 4 here, which means 3 remain for this row, right? We know that there can only be 1 in this set and 1 in this set. So this must be a mine to finish it off. Oh, and this connecting space must be free. Not sure how to proceed from here. Right, this 5, even if this is a mine, has to finish there, which finishes off this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the 5 that's implied. So where do we go from here? Right, since there's 1 left, that must be the mine, which connects it, forces that open. Now we know that there can only be 1 there from the 2 clue, so both of those must be mines, which does finish the 4. Now the 3 gets finished. This... No, they don't necessarily mean that. Let's look at possibilities again. That 6 gets taken down to a 3 by the available mines. That brings it down to 2. This 4 brings it down to 1. Now I think there's 2 possibilities with how this 3 ends. It could either hit the connector, and then this is a mine. Or it doesn't. I don't think that's for sure. Branching paths. The 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That 2 clue looks workable, because you could be like, oh, this 3 and this 2, but they connect. So the only thing we know for sure is that this becomes a 1 clue. The 6 clue we already looked at. It gets taken down to a 3 by the visible. This one is absolutely guaranteed. It's down to 2. And then we come to this crossroads, where they could connect. If they connect, then there's 1 here and 1 up there. If they don't connect, then this is a free space. This is a rough one. This 4 has a very high possibility, 3 out of 4 chance of being in this zone, making all of those safe. But it could be right here. And then all 3 of these are totally safe. This one similarly could be in any of those spots, but it's not a guarantee. I feel like guessing would be a disservice to myself in the game, which is the main thing preventing me from making progress. That and my inability to use my eyes. What am I missing here? Is that 3 misflagged? Oh, why is that 3 misflagged? Well, no wonder it was impossible then. Well, that explains why we were stuck. Okay, so we're still on 3. From 1, 2, 3. Ah, it has to be the connector now. No, it has to be not the connector. No, the 4 is solved. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do it. Can you hear the super cool and epic plane flying by my house? So cool. 2 is finished. So cool and epic. This 4 finishes the 3. Love the plane. Plane is guest starring. If you think about it, this 2 clue, this 4 has to be finished like that, and then this 3, which is completely separate, has to be finished like that, finishing the clue, making both those scores free. And now we know that whichever way this goes, and whichever way this goes, the 3 is finished. So both of those are free. Vroom vroom, fight the power. Alright, and now this 2 clue up here is done. Because, like I mentioned, this has to be 1, and that mine exists. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now this 3 is finished. Logically, the 1 is finished. That 1 is finished. I don't like that question mark. Now this 2 must finish the 3 here. E1 hiccup. And that 4 must hit a blue, so the light blue number is down to 2. And by that 4, I mean this one that I was looking at for some reason. I'm always having hiccups, if you say so. But either way. Alright, this 2 clue combines with this 1 clue, right? That 1 means one of those is true. So now for this 2 to be finished, one of those must be true. This 2 is finished. Making that square safe. Could potentially hit both light blues, I suppose. Man, where did that miss flag come from? Hmm. 3. So it's not possible. Yeah. 1. It's not possible that these are both mines because of the 2 clue. So that finishes up the 3, making both of these safe. So what do all these new 2s mean? Well, this 2 must affect the other one, right? Because even if this is a mine, there's still 1 used up here. So there has to be 1 in one of those 3. Oh, there's an easier way of doing this. The 2 on the bottom, wherever it goes, finishes up this 2. Now this 1 combines with the 2, meaning that the 1 must be satiated somewhere, finishing the 2. Now this 2 is done. Now this 2 is done. Now this 2 is done. That 1 is done. This 1 is done. This 2 is done. This 2 is done. That 2 is done. This 2 is done. This 2 is done. That 3 is done. And the 4 is done. Now there's 2 light blues left. That still doesn't feel like enough to finish it, but we do know if we math it out here, there's 2 left in this row, there's 1 left in this row, and there's 2 left in this row, so that does add up to 5. Right, and since we know from this 2 that one of these is true, we also know that one of these is true from the 2 light blues, which finishes up the row, making everything else free. And now this 4 can be completed, which finishes the 2. Now this 1 can be completed, which finishes that 2. 3 can be completed. Now this 4 column clue is finished. That 1 must go here, meaning that this 2 is done, and the final mine. 28 complete. Let's go, gamers. That was nice. I don't like the looks of that one. Let's do 3-6. No. Let's do this one. So there's sort of like a line going on here. If you follow it. Wait, that 4 is completed. That might have been a good place to check. Ooh, almost made a mistake. Did that get me anything? In terms of game knowledge. That seemed like a big break, and then it just stops. Right at that point. It either finishes the left or right, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it finishes the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, the light pink gets finished by the 3 now. Which does free up quite a bit of space. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that must satiate the 1. You can kind of math out the yellow. You know 1 has to be used here. Can't really do much with that too, though. At least not yet. Alright, this 3 is finished now. That 3 is finished now. Fortunately, the 2 is very non-committal. That's a fancy word. 1, 2. I wish that 2 was a 3, because I could make some good assumptions about that. Actually, it might be useful. 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last 6 is divvied up there. I see. That's a bit of a clever way of doing that. Now for this 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know one of those is true. For this 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be finished. Wherever this 1 goes, it finishes the 2. That 4 finishes that up. Now 3 is done. Wherever the 3 goes, it finishes that 1. Nice. Now that 1 is done. 3 must be finished like that. This 1 must be finished like that. This 3 is done now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know that this 1 finishes off all the oranges. This 1 finishes off the 2. Now the 3 has to be finished. I think it must be the connecting piece. Nice. Now this 2 finishes off the other 2. This 1 means that that must be the mine. That finishes that all off. 3 yellows left, only 1 can potentially be there. So it must be 1 here, and 1 here, then the other one that's there. That 2 finishes up that area. This 2 is finished now. 4 must be finished. The 3 is done. Yeah, that already sees 2, so it must be completed there. This 1 finishes the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 is done. Three is done. 2 means there can only be 1 there, so it must be somewhere there. This one is done. 2 is done. Yay, that part of the board is finished. 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 sees 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think the 5 must get finished then. I'm pretty sure anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 1 left on the 5. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 1 left on the 6, right? So there must be... one here, and there must be 1 here to finish up the mines. So one of them must be top, one of them must be bottom. Either way, this whole row is free. And now we have 2 mines left, so it must be the connector piece. And 1, 2, 3, 4. This must be the 5th, I think. Yeah, the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. 35 done. TMI. This certainly is a lot of information. So many numbers, oh my gosh. Are any of these useful yet? I'm like looking for small numbers. I think this 3 is the smallest number. What sort of trouble am I in here? Those are all horizontal. That 4 is almost good. I think I might actually come back to this one. Yeah. This one seems nicer. This 3 must conclude the oranges. But that doesn't really help me because it's touching all the oranges. Where do I go from here? The light blue only has 1 mine. That almost seems like it wants me to click around in there. But I know it doesn't. Well, this 3... I don't know if much is going to come out of this. This 3 must hit at least one of these, right? Maybe both. So the other 2 or 1 mine must be in the other spots. Two out of 3 of those are active. What happens if this 2 ignores all the orange? Could still work. That's the thing, I feel like this one has too many possibilities. Did I even get started on this? Oh man. Well, we know these 3 encompass one another, so there has to be at least 1 there. Doesn't seem exact. Seems like a guess to me still. What's the obvious starting point? The 5 maybe? The 5 sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 1 must be taken care of like that. So since the 1 is taken care of, those spaces are safe. For now. feel like these ones have got to be usable in some way. I just don't see how yet. I don't know if I have time for another full puzzle. Let's go back to this. Wait, this one is solved. Forehead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Light pink is done. This one finishes up this one. That one finishes up the 2, finishes up the 3. Alright, there's one more light blue left and 3 mines in general. Right, so 1 mine must be here. 1 mine must be here. And 1 mine must be here. And 1 mine must be here. So this space should be a mine. And everything else should be free real estate, I think. I don't want to rush this ending. Right, this space is free. No, that space isn't mine. Okay, so we know one of these is true, and we know one of these is true. And one of them doesn't work. So the first option that I can see working is that and that. I don't see any problems with it. The 2 is satisfied, everything else is satisfied. Now this method I don't see working because the 2 doesn't work. Nice. 31 completed. Why is it white? I did that perfectly. Scuffed game. Temperatures high. One of them is satiated there, one of them is satiated there. No. Right, this 2 finishes up the light blues. That's how you solve that bit. So for the purple, we know... Oh wait, this 2 is solved. Okay, so now we can solve this. There's 1 there, which brings it down to 2, and then there's 1 there, which brings it down to 1. And... right, the 3 means that there's 2 around the 3, which brings it down to 0, making this top space safe. Actually, the 2... if we just take the 2 at face value, we get this 2 plus this 1 summing to 3, making this space safe. This space safe. We know the purple must be true, so both of those are safe. Same for that bit. Okay, that just solves it outright. Thank you. We have 2 mines left, and we know one of them is here and one of them is here. This must be true. There we go, a 32 finish, so... whew, we did another one. Nice. I should probably quit now while I'm ahead, and also because I have class soon. But I don't have class for like 5 more minutes. Don't quite get where to go from here. Maybe I can use the 7 clue? Because I know that one of these is true from the 4 clue. From the 7 clue, we know that one of those is true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all the top spaces should be safe, I think. Yeah, that was the trick to it. Right, and since there's only 1 left, it must be there. That might have been the other way to solve it, now that I think about it. Yay! So I'll take the end of that section as a win. And this must be the safe bit. Nice. If you enjoyed this episode of Tametsi, leave a like and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.